people. So those are, it may be a new drug, it may be medical device, it may be a treatment type. And the last is what we call dry bench research, which is usually large amounts of information evaluated in kind of like an office space kind of area. So you have epidemiological kind of research, policy development. So these are looking at outcomes to determine how best we should treat patients.
So wet bench means like hands-on practice, and dry bench means intellectual effort, and you're not
working
frogs or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. So we're in the wet bench area now, and although we can't go in this area, we can look at some of the other parts of it. One of the challenges we had was trying to incorporate those ideas of visibility and light and stuff in this space. And you can see some aspects of how we've done that. These are the graduate seating spaces. So again, whenever we have an office area, we usually have a lot of transparency so that people can see each other, people know what's going on, and lots of lines of sight. So all the way from Victoria over to Vaughan.
Why is that significant if I can ask just lines of sight? Is there a reason why that doesn't show significant? If you know.
I don't know. I mean, certainly the studies that I'm talking about with the people collaborating and being able to listen, but I think there's a thing about being able to see each other too. So that sort of ties in that.
Maybe something about seeing the end of the building or something?
Maybe. I know certainly, so there's been studies that look at happiness and well-being being able to see used, in particular in nature. So you have patients. We don't have patients in this building, but this is a study where you look at patients. If they have a view, particularly a view where they can look at green grass and trees, their recovery rates are faster and they require less energy. So we're just going to make our way over to the coast of Beautiful Park.
Здравствуйте.
Okay, this is, we're now on one of our research floors. So there are three research floors.
By the two-story lounge, so it's interesting. There's not only a connection horizontally, but a connection vertically as well. So you can see the people down there. And then there's this spiral, or we call it a wishbone staircase, that was designed by Jack Diamond, that goes up from the second floor and encourages people to use. So those are the wet bench floors?
Oh, that's above it.
Yeah. So why don't you go down to the third floor? Yeah, go down the third. Researchers, so postdocs are students who are researchers are clinicians or scientists.
What is down here?
Pardon?
What is down here? Is that your, what is down here? Center for Faculty Development?
Yes, Center for Faculty. It's part of the routine to help faculty who are part of the faculty of medicine to stay current with the development.
So what can you do to collaborate better?
So here we are on the third floor. There's a number of rooms that is bringing together. These are ways down at the end of the library, and I'll talk a little bit about the library when we get there.
So that's how they got the city council to agree to put the bridge up. prefer that the underground takes the path down.
You know,
Trying to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you would see.
I think I'll be able to see if that technical from being a bridge between
So, you know, in the old days, libraries were all about the books. You make a pilgrimage to the books. These days, most of the information that you're looking at is available online. You'll see that there are some books and journals available in stacks, but very limited. Almost everything is available online. And so the most important thing in a library these days are the people, the librarians. They're the people that help you find the information that you need. And the other thing is a nice place to be, to make it easy for yourself to find the information. So if you have to study, you know, this is not a bad place to study for an exam. So it's all about, in this space anyway, all about the views. So there we have St. Michael's Cathedral and the hospital. Maybe while we're here, we can talk a little bit about the machine. So, you know, these buildings take an awful lot of effort and money to build. Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee is an industrialist from Hong Kong and a great philanthropist. He gave us money to build this building. The Keenan family, Barbara and Keenan, have been supporters of the hospital for a long time and provided money as well. You'll notice that just about everything has a name on it because there was some level of financing involved. Plus, the federal and provincial governments and the City of Toronto was very helpful. One of the things, for example, there are very few bridges in Toronto, and the city recognized the important link between our center and the hospital and allowed us to build a bridge. They also allowed us to build above that lane of Victoria Lane.
And is the bridge you're talking about the one that we just...
That is, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go back as soon as these guys are done, and we'll go have a look at the bridge. So what else can we tell you about it?
Is most of the, or all of the literature here digitized?
It is.
So why do we need a library?
You need the library because of the librarians. The librarians are the people that help you find the material that you want. So you know, the thing is that librarians, if you didn't have, when you're doing research, you want to know what work has been done before. And it's really hard to find that information. You can't just sort of do a Google search and find it out. The librarians have the ability, the techniques that allow them to help you with that.
And is this accessible to the public?
This is a St. Mike's library. I'm not sure what the public accessibility is. There would be a patient library in the hospital.
But the fact is, these materials are basically archival. Are they the ones that I'm looking at, the hard copies, that in future, further editions of, let's say, this, you know, Orange magazine here would be digital only, or will they continue to produce hard copies? Or do you know?
I don't know. I mean, so there is some reference material, but you know, this represents just a fraction of the resources that the library has. Almost all of it is online. This is a very small group.
May I ask what your position is here at Larry?
At St. Michael's Hospital?
St. Michael's Hospital?
I'm the Director of Research Facilities.
And your name?
Steve Barker. So I think the library is, or the bridge is available. Still in there.
The term of urology, is that back there? Everything you want to know, if you're talking about urology.
So maybe I can talk a little bit about it beforehand. So the bridge was designed by Jack Diamond. It was designed to be minimal. So that is very minimal kind of structure. And in a way, it's green because of that, because it doesn't use a lot of material. So it's tubular steel surrounded by glass. The structure was built in Germany. The glass actually comes from Italy and it was built on site in Germany. And, then it was shipped here, disassembled, shipped, put into place, and there was 6 inches clearance on either side. It was actually craned up, so it was one of those things that you measure twice and cut once kind of thing. No. And then reassembled over the next few months. But it tries to incorporate all those things that we talked about already. There's transparency, lines of sight, great views. It is an excellent view. I'm one of those guys that kind of walks fast. So I come from a hospital and I'm walking fast, and I go into the bridge and I just sort of slow down and kind of take it in. Maybe before we go in, we can have a look. So we talked about lots of use of art, and there are also plants too. You should keep an eye out for those. This is kind of a cool picture. This is of the hospital actually, and it's sort of like sections through the hospital. So here's the roof, here's the mechanical spaces, and it's a panorama.
Great idea.
They didn't show the bridge, did they?
No, this is pre-bridge.
Oh,
Yeah, good point. Good eye. So the building was finished and occupied a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, including the bridge.
What's your typical day, like, what kind of things are you doing? After 4, typically?
I probably go over to 14 stories. Maybe twice.
You have to, all the research.